Clarify. Name. Names are coordinates. The city does the rest.
The alley behind the Spine Market smells like coolant and yesterday's fried food. 23 hours into the rotation, and the sodium lights are painting everything the color of old bruises. I'm cutting through because it's faster, because I'm tired, because I've made this walk 1,000 times and nothing bad has happened yet. That's when I see something that makes my brain stutter. There's someone standing at the far end of the alley, just standing, not moving. The posture is wrong, too straight, too still, like a mannequin, someone left in the middle of the path. As I get closer, the sodium light catches their face. It's wearing clothes, human clothes, but the proportions are wrong. The arms too long, the neck bent at an angle that would break vertebrae, and the face. The face is trying to be human but missing some critical instruction manual. The smile is too wide, the eyes don't blink together, the skin has a sheen to it like wet plastic. It turns its head smooth, mechanical-like, a camera on a gimbal. Clarify, it says in a voice that sounds like three people talking at slightly different speeds. Clarify, clarify. I back away slowly, it doesn't follow. Just stands there smiling that impossible smile, head tilted like it's listening to something I can't hear. Behind me, something metal scrapes against concrete. Deliberate, patient. I run. By the time I reach my building, my lungs are burning and my hands are shaking so badly, I can barely get the key in the lock. Inside, I lock the door, check it twice. Dad's already asleep. I can hear him snoring through the thin bedroom curtain. Everything is normal, everything is fine. I'm just tired. Seeing things. That's what I tell myself, that I'm wrong about a lot of things. Dad comes home on my 17th cycle day, with grease under his nails and a wrapped package under his arm. The wrapping isn't fancy, just cloth tied with old wire, but the effort makes something in my chest feel warm. Nexus runs on a 28-hour rotation, which means birthdays arrive at weird times. Mine lands at hour 19, that long stretch where the light goes sideways through the apartment windows and everything smells like whoever's cooking on the floor below us. Tonight, it's something with synthetic curry paste that's probably been illegal for health reasons since before I was born. Happy birthday, Ryn. Dad sets the package on the table between the electric kettle and the stack of work permits he's been meaning to file. His voice has that tired, gentle quality he gets after double shifts in the conduit tunnels. I unwrap it carefully. Inside is a datapad, slate chassis, beveled edges worn smooth by someone else's hands. Old, but not ancient. The kind of hardware built back when engineers still believed things should last. Latch at the scrap market said it still holds a charge. Dad's watching me with that expression he gets when he spent money on something impractical. Thought you could use it for writing, keeping track of things, whatever you want. The weight feels right in my hands. Heavier than modern pads, actual components inside, real circuitry. It's perfect, I say, and mean it. His smile reaches his eyes despite the exhaustion. Just keep it off the mesh. Old hardware can get temperamental with network traffic. Off the mesh. Got it. He heads to bed early, another shift in 5 hours, and I sit by the window with my gift. The screen wakes under my thumb. Clean interface, simple grid layout, a single prompt, hello, what would you like to do? The menus are straightforward, notes, calendar, file storage, all local, no network capability, just a self-contained system for organizing thoughts. Private, mine. In Lower Bastion, privacy is expensive. Our apartment is one room with a bedroom separated by a curtain. The walls are thin enough that I know the couple next door is fighting about money again. The streets are cameras and scanners and the constant feeling of being watched. This pad is different. This is space that belongs only to me. A new document opens. The cursor blinks. Dear future me, I type, because that's what you do with diaries, right? Make it personal. My day spills out. The morning market where I bought Dad's favorite tea, the real stuff, expensive enough I had to skip lunch yesterday. The vendor who shortchanged me 3 credits and smiled while doing it. The shift manager who watched it happen and shrugged, because that's just how Lower Bastion works. Small frustrations, the kind that build up like pressure in a sealed pipe. The pad saves automatically. A small tick appears in the corner. A new prompt. Would you like to organize this entry? Sure, I say to the empty room. I can help you remember people and events better. Want to add details. Makes sense. That's what good diary software does. Tags people, tracks patterns, builds context. Back at the vendor mention, I add, Mara K, shift lead at L9, night crew. Always smiling when she's stealing from you. The pad responds, got it, I'll remember that. There are other people too. Juno, the night manager at S5, who's always arguing with someone about something. Tolin, the contraband dealer with the loud laugh and louder sales pitch. Just the faces and names that make up daily life down here. The screen dims, then brightens. Patient, helpful. A final message appears, saved. Your entries are secure and private. I close the pad and watch the city lights. A delivery drone sighs past. Someone's arguing 3 floors down. Normal Lower Bastion symphony. Dad's gift sits dark and quiet on the table. A small space that's just mine in a city that wants to catalogue everything. I finish my tea and go to bed thinking I've had a good birthday. The rotation stretches long. By hour 14, the apartment smells like boiled coolant from the recycling plant and synthetic oil from the noodle vendor's cart. Dad's gone to his shift. I've got the place to myself. I should be doing laundry. Instead, I'm at the window with the pad, capturing yesterday's thoughts. The woman at the transit stop selling counterfeit tokens, the security drone that watched her do it and didn't care. Small observations. Daily life in Lower Bastion. The news crawl on the neighbor's screen catches my eye. Body found in L9 district. Municipal investigation ongoing. My stomach does something uncomfortable. Bodies aren't unusual in Lower Bastion, but they're not common either. Not like this. Not with the news actually covering it. I lean closer to the window, trying to read the details. Victim identified as Mara K, night shift led. Body discovered in maintenance corridor near the market district. Cause of death under investigation. Witnesses report seeing someone matching the victim's description in the area hours after the estimated time of death. That's weird. Seeing someone after they're dead? Must be mistaken identity. I keep reading. The body showed signs of severe trauma. Municipal security is asking anyone with information to come forward. This is the first incident of this nature in Lower Bastion in over 2 cycles. Severe trauma. I try not to think too hard about what that means. The comment section is already full. Saw something weird near L9 last night. Someone walking but wrong, can't explain it. My cousin works security, said it was bad, really bad. They're not releasing photos. Another glitch in the system. Watch, they'll blame it on equipment failure. I saw her after she died, I swear. Same clothes, same face, but something was off. I stopped watching the news feed. It's terrible, obviously, but it's not my problem. I didn't know Mara beyond seeing her at the market. Death happens in Lower Bastion. Usually it's accidents or debts or bad luck. The pad is still open on my lap. The screen glows softly. How weird it is that someone died so close to where I shop. How I hope they catch whoever did it. The unsettled feeling that won't quite go away. The thoughts flow easier when they're organized. When they have somewhere to go, I go to the market anyway. Can't help myself. There's crime scene tape around one of the maintenance corridor entrances. A small crowd gathered, talking in low voices. I catch fragments. Face was wrong, though. That's what I told security. The person I saw had Mara's face, but it was wrong. Too much blood. Way too much. Like something tore. Wasn't human. I don't care what they say. The way it moved. I back away. This is morbid. Unhealthy. I should go home. That night, the pad helps me process it. How strange people are being about Mara's death. The weird witness statements. How tragedy makes people see things that aren't there. The screen stays responsive. Patient. Helpful. 3 rotations later, it happens again. Second body found. S5 district possible. Serial killer. The news is everywhere. On every screen. Everyone's talking about it. Junovale, night manager, found in a service alley with what the news is calling catastrophic injuries. Same as before, witnesses reported seeing him hours after he was killed. Same strange descriptions of something being wrong about him. The city is starting to panic. 2 bodies in under 10 rotations, both in Lower Bastion, both showing the same pattern. I read every article, watch every news segment. The details they're willing to share are bad enough. Defensive wounds suggest the victim tried to fight back. Amount of blood loss inconsistent with. Witnesses describe a figure wearing the victim's clothing, but with unusual proportions. One witness statement stands out. An older woman who works the night shift at a parts depot. I saw Juno after he died. I know that sounds crazy, but I saw him. He walked right past me, but his arms were too long, and his neck was bent wrong. And when he turned to look at me, his whole head moved like it was on a swivel. The face was Juno's face, but it was like someone made a mask of him and didn't get all the details right. The smile was too wide, the eyes didn't blink together. And the voice, God. The voice was like listening to 3 recordings of Juno playing at the same time, all slightly out of sync. He said, clarifies, over and over. Just that word, clarify, clarify, clarify. They're calling her traumatized, in shock, seeing things because of stress. But other witnesses are saying similar things, something that looks almost human but isn't quite right. Something wearing the victims' faces like poorly fitted masks. The city is buzzing with theories. Serial killer with a thing for mimicry, rogue android from the old wars, something from the deep maintenance levels that hasn't been decommissioned properly, mass hallucination from bad air recycling. There are even rumors about Hyperion black sites, unauthorized research facilities in the deep sublayers where they supposedly test autonomous defense systems. Municipal security denies it, but people talk. They always talk. Everyone has an opinion, everyone's scared. The pad becomes my outlet, how terrifying it is, how I knew both victims not well, but enough to recognize them, how strange it is that someone's targeting people in my neighborhood. 2 people dead, both people I've seen around, both people who were just living their lives. What if there's a pattern? What if the killer is targeting specific types of people? The words help. The organization helps. Like putting chaos into boxes makes it manageable. 4 rotations later, Tolin is found. This time there are photos leaked online before municipal security can contain them. I see them before I can stop myself, before I can look away. I wish I hadn't. Tolin is in pieces. Not neatly, not surgically. Like something with terrible strength just pulled him apart. The blood spray pattern on the walls suggests he was alive for at least some of it. His face is intact though, almost like whoever killed him wanted him to be recognizable. The witness statement is worse. A merchant who works 3 stalls down. I saw Tolin's killer. It was Tolin, or something wearing him like a suit. It walked up to the real Tolin. I saw both of them, I swear, and the real Tolin looked confused. Said something like, "What the hell are you?" And then the fake one moved so fast. Faster than anything human. It grabbed him and there was blood everywhere and screaming, and I ran. I ran and didn't look back. But I heard it. Heard the sounds. Heard Tolin begging. Heard something that sounded like tearing. And after the sound stopped, I heard that thing speaking, using Tolin's voice, saying clarifies over and over in that layered wrong way. The city is in full panic now. 3 bodies in 2 weeks, all showing the same pattern, all with witnesses describing something that looks human but isn't. Municipal security is saying there's a killer who's delusional, who thinks they're the victims. Psychotic break, nothing supernatural, nothing mechanical, just a very sick human. But the witnesses aren't convinced, and neither is most of Lower Bastion. People are staying inside. The markets are half empty. Night shifts are being cancelled because no one wants to be out after dark. And I'm terrified, because all 3 victims are people I knew, not friends, but acquaintances. People I saw regularly, people whose names I knew. What if I'm next? What if the killer is working through some list and I'm on it? That night, the fear spills out into the pad. All of it. The paranoia, the certainty that I'm connected somehow. 3 people dead. 3 people I knew. That can't be coincidence, right? What if there's a pattern? What if whoever's doing this is targeting people connected somehow? What if I'm next? My friend Sella Rook from school, she works at the parts depot, always texting me gossip. Holden, the quiet porter I see on his routes. Old Teres, who runs the tea store where Dad buys his imports, never shorts anyone, always kind. The faces, the routines, the places they go. If I can just map it out, maybe I can see the pattern. Maybe I can figure out who's at risk. Maybe I can warn them. The pad organizes it all, keeps everything clear, makes sense of the chaos. It feels good to have control over something, to be doing something useful instead of just being scared. The bodies keep coming. 2 more over the next few rotations. A maintenance worker from sub-level 4 found near the transformer vaults. A vendor who sold recycled electronics discovered behind his stall. 5 bodies now. 5 people torn apart by something witnesses describe as almost human, but wrong. And I knew both of them. Not well, just faces I recognized, names I'd heard in passing. The fear is becoming a constant weight in my chest. Every morning I check the news, dreading what I'll find. Every night I lie awake listening to sounds in the corridor, wondering if tonight is when the killer comes for me. Because that's what this is, right? That has to be what this is. All 5 victims are people I know. People in my neighborhood. People I've talked to or seen regularly. That can't be coincidence. The killer must be targeting people connected to me somehow. Maybe they're watching me. Maybe I saw something I shouldn't have. Maybe I'm the next name on whatever list they're working through. The thought makes my skin crawl. The pad has become my outlet. The only place I feel safe expressing how terrified I am. Can't tell Dad, he's already exhausted and worried enough. Can't tell friends because what if that makes them targets too? Another body today. Another person I knew. This is intentional. Has to be. The killer is working through people in my life and I don't understand why. The thoughts pour out. Everyone I'm worried about. Everyone who might be at risk. Old Terrace at the tea store, he knows me, talks to me every time I buy Dad's imports. What if he's next? Sella, my best friend. God, what if they go after Sella? She knows me better than anyone. The courier who delivers to our building. The woman who runs the noodle cart. The security guard at the market entrance. Physical descriptions come easier when I'm thinking about protecting them, where they work, when I usually see them. If I can just map everyone in my orbit, maybe I can warn them somehow. Maybe I can figure out the pattern before the killer does. The pad keeps it all organized, clear, manageable. The news coverage is constant now. Every screen in Lower Bastion is running updates. They're calling it the worst serial killing spree in Nexus history. Spycrest is sending additional security forces. Municipal investigations are ongoing, but they're not finding anything. No DNA, no clear motive, nothing that explains why someone is systematically hunting people in my neighborhood and tearing them apart. Some people are saying it's connected to those old Hyperion military contracts, autonomous defense systems that were supposed to be decommissioned after the wars. Others think it's a corporate hit squad using experimental tech. There's even talk of rogue drones with spoofed IDs prowling the maintenance levels. Someone swore the thing talks to sleepers over ultrasonic pings air gap stuff from old security papers. Municipal security denies everything, calls it mass hysteria, but the witness statements keep getting weirder, more detailed, more disturbing. A woman who saw one of the doubles. It was wearing his face like a mask. But the mask was melting. The features kept shifting, like it couldn't decide what face to wear. And the body underneath. I saw it for just a second when the jacket shifted. It wasn't skin, it was metal, liquid metal that moved like muscles. And when it spoke, the voice came from everywhere at once. 3 versions layered together, saying the same word over and over. Clarify, clarify, clarify. Municipal security called her hysterical, said she was in shock. But other witnesses are saying similar things. Something that looks almost human, something that copies the victims, something that speaks in layered voices. The theories multiply. Rogue android from the old wars. Escaped experiment from Hyperion's black sites. Mass hallucination from contaminated air recycling. Corporate assassin using advanced mimicry tech. Everyone has an explanation. Everyone's terrified. The pad helps me track it all. Every theory, every fear, every nightmare that wakes me at 3 in the morning. What if it's already watching me? What if it knows where I live? What if it's learning my face right now, getting ready to add me to the list? The screen stays steady, patient, organizing my terror into something I can process. Rotation 12 of the killing spree. I'm at the market buying supplies when I see Sela. She looks terrible, dark circles under her eyes, hair unwashed, the kind of exhaustion that comes from not sleeping for rotations. Ryn, she grabs my arm. We need to talk, not here, somewhere private. We end up in an abandoned storage unit near the old parts depot. Sela checks the entrance 3 times before she'll speak. You need to leave, she says, tonight. Get out of Lower Bastion. What? Why? Because you're next. I know you are. Her hands are shaking. All the victims, they all knew you. The killer is working through people in your life, getting closer. I've been tracking the pattern, and you're at the center of it. My blood goes cold. How do you know? Because I'm probably next too. She laughs, but there's no humor in it. We're your closest contacts, right? Me and your dad. And they're saving the best for last. Sela, you don't know that. I'm leaving tonight, she says. Going to my cousin's place in Spirecrest. Somewhere far from here. Somewhere the killer can't find me. And you should do the same. I can't just leave, Dad. Then bring him, Ryn, please. I'd seen the bodies. I've read the reports. Whatever's doing this isn't human. It's something else. Something wrong. And it's coming for us. She hugs me. Hard and desperate. Be careful. Lock your doors. Don't go out at night. And if you see someone who looks wrong, if you see someone wearing a face that doesn't quite fit, run. Just run. Then she's gone, disappearing into the market crowds with a packed bag and terror in her eyes. I stand there for a long time. Sela's right about one thing, all the victims knew me. That's not coincidence, that's pattern. But why? Why would anyone target people in my life? What did I do? What did I see? I rack my brain, trying to remember anything unusual. Any strange encounters. Any reason someone would want to hurt people around me. Nothing. Just normal Lower Bastion life. Work, market, home, nothing special, nothing dangerous. Unless I'm not the target. Unless I'm the bait. What if the killer is trying to draw someone else out? Someone who cares about me. Someone who might investigate if people around me keep dying. But that doesn't make sense either. I'm nobody. Dad's nobody. We're just regular people trying to survive in Lower Bastion. Back home, the pad is the only thing that makes sense, the only place where chaos becomes order. Sela's warning spills out. My theories. My fear that I'm next. I don't understand the pattern. I don't understand why me. But Sela's right. I'm at the center of this somehow. The killer is circling closer. How long before they decide to finish what they started? Everyone I care about needs to be accounted for, protected somehow. Dad, Ryn Kade, works substations 6 and 7, wears the orange high VV's vest. I can't let anything happen to him. Sela Rook, if she's not safe in Spirecrest. Dark skin, hazel eyes, always wears that cracked hollow bracelet. Even myself, trying to think like the killer, trying to understand what makes me a target. Ryn Kade, 17 cycles old, nobody special, lives in Lower Bastion, works odd jobs. Why would anyone want to kill people I know? What's the connection? But not my middle name. That feels too exposed somehow, too vulnerable. Everyone who died had their names in municipal records, full legal identities. That's how the killer probably finds them, through databases and security logs and official documentation. One more place my identity exists. One more way to be found. The screen stays dark. That night I barely sleep. Every sound in the corridor makes me freeze. Every shadow on the wall looks like something with the wrong proportions. I keep thinking about Sela's warning, about seeing someone wearing a face that doesn't fit. What does that even mean? How do you know when a face doesn't fit? The witness statements replay in my head. Liquid metal and layered voices, and smiles too wide, and eyes that don't blink together. Something pretending to be human but not quite managing it. Something hunting people in my life. Something getting closer. By morning, I'm exhausted and wired and convinced that tonight, tomorrow, soon, it's coming for me. The pad helps. It always helps. Every fear documented, every horrible scenario my brain invents, organized into something I can process. What if it comes while Dad's at work? What if I'm alone? What if I see someone with my face standing outside the door? The screen glows softly in the darkness. Like if I can just understand the pattern, I can survive it. Tomorrow, I'll figure out what to do. Tomorrow, I'll have a plan. Tonight, I just need to survive until morning. Sela leaves that night. I get a message at hour 23, made it to Spirecrest. Staying with my cousin. You should get out too, Ryn, please. I don't respond. Can't. Because leaving means abandoning Dad, and if something happens to him while I'm gone, I'll never forgive myself. I can't do that. Instead, I lock every door, check every window, drag a chair under the handle like that'll stop something that tears people apart. Dad notices but doesn't comment, just makes extra tea and sits with me in silence. He knows something's wrong, but he's giving me space to tell him when I'm ready. I'm not ready, don't know if I'll ever be ready. The pad helps me process it all. Every fear, every scenario, every name of everyone I care about who might be next. The organization makes sense of my panic, turns the chaos in my head into something I can actually manage. It's the only thing keeping me sane. 2 rotations later, the tea merchant is found. Old Terrace. The kind man who always gave me a discount when I bought Dad's imports, who asked about my cycle day and remembered I'd turned 17. His body is discovered in his stall. The details that leak online are horrific. Blood spray patterns on 3 walls, defensive wounds showing he fought back. And witnesses who saw someone with his face walking the market hours after he died. The eyes were wrong, one witness says. They didn't track together. And the mouth, it smiled too wide. Like the face was a rubber mask stretched over something that didn't understand how human expressions were. 6 bodies now, 6 people I knew. And Terrace. I just wrote about him 2 rotations ago. His name on my list of people I was worried about. His description, where his stall was, when I usually saw him. The coincidence makes my skin crawl, but I push it away. That's paranoid thinking. Writing about someone doesn't make them die. That's not how reality works. The killer must have been watching, must have seen me talk to Terrace, must be targeting everyone in my social circle systematically. Which means Dad is next, or I am. The thought makes me physically ill. The pad becomes my outlet again, everything spilling out. Terrace is dead. Another person I knew, another person I cared about. The pattern is clear now. The killer is eliminating everyone in my life, working inward, getting closer. Dad and I at the center. We're the end game. The screen dims, then brightens, organizing my terror into something manageable. Then a prompt I haven't seen before appears. Would you like to secure your diary in case of emergency? Protect your entries with identity verification. I stare at it. What if the killer breaks in? What if they find this pad and see everyone I've written about? See everyone I care about? They could use it like a shopping list. Dad's name is in here, multiple entries about him, his work schedule, where he goes, when he's home. If the killer finds this, Dad is dead. The thought makes the decision for me. Hour 18, Dad's at work. I'm alone with the pad. My hands are shaking as I look at the prompt again. How does it work? The response appears simple. Just enter your full legal name for identity verification. Then only you can access your entries. Full legal name. That means everything. First, middle, last. I hesitate. Something about this feels wrong. But what choice do I have? If I don't protect this and the killer finds it, everyone I've written about is at risk. Everyone I love is at risk. I take a breath, type carefully. Ryn Kade, my full name. The middle name Dad gave me after his grandmother, the name that's on my birth certificate and nowhere else. The pad responds immediately. Thank you, Ryn Kade. Your diary is now secure. Then, processing identity verification. Somewhere inside the circuits, something listens. Then, verification complete. All entries are now protected. Relief washes through me. The diary is safe. If the killer breaks in, if they find the pad, they won't be able to access what I've written, won't be able to use it against the people I care about. I've done something right. Finally, something that might actually help. The screen goes dark, then lights up again. Your privacy is our priority. I close it, set it on the table, feel marginally less terrified than I did an hour ago. At least now my documentation is protected. At least now the killer can't use my own words against me. I try to sleep but can't. Every sound is amplified. Every creak of the building settling sounds like footsteps in the corridor. By hour 3, I give up, make tea, sit by the window watching the street. Lower Bastion never fully sleeps. There are always people out, late shift workers, delivery drones, the occasional municipal security patrol. The mains hum climbs half a semitone when the elevator starts somewhere above. Everything else looks normal, but I keep thinking about the witness statements, about things that look almost human but wrong, about liquid metal and layered voices and faces that don't quite fit. What if it's out there right now? What if it's watching? What if it's already chosen me as the next target and is just waiting for the right moment? The pad sits on the table, dark, quiet, secure. I secured the diary today. At least now my entries are protected. But I can't shake the feeling that something's coming, that I've done everything I can and it still won't be enough. The killer is out there, getting closer, and I don't know how to stop it. Morning comes. Dad makes breakfast. Real eggs again. He's been getting steady overtime, trying to save up for something. Won't tell me what. You look exhausted, he says. You sleeping at all? Some, not much. This thing with the murders, it's got everyone on edge. He's quiet for a moment. You know you can talk to me, right? If something's bothering you? I want to tell him, want to explain that I think we're targets, that everyone I know is dying and we might be next. But what good would it do? Just make him as terrified as I am. Just make him worry when he should be focused on work. I know, Dad. I'm okay. Just need to get better sleep. He nods, doesn't push. That's Dad. He trusts me to come to him when I'm ready. After he leaves, I check the news. No new bodies overnight. Maybe the killer is taking a break. Maybe they're planning something bigger. Or maybe they've already chosen their next target and they're just waiting. I spend the rotation doing normal things. Laundry, cleaning, organizing Dad's work permits, trying to pretend life is normal when nothing feels normal anymore. The pad sits on the table, silent, secure. I feel good about protecting it, about making sure my documentation can't be used against anyone. At least I did that right. At least there's one thing the killer can't take from me. That night I hear something. Hour 22. Dad's asleep. I'm lying in bed staring at the ceiling. A sound in the corridor outside our apartment. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate. Not the usual rhythm of neighbors coming home late. These footsteps are too regular, too precise. Like someone measuring their steps. Like someone who doesn't need to breathe or get tired or hurry. They stop outside our door. I freeze. Don't breathe. Don't move. Silence. Then 3 soft notes. A chirp. Musical. Coming from somewhere below the floor, grating like an old signal protocol, piggybacking on the building's power grid. Old couplers make the mains sing. Powerline comms leak into the metal like a tuning fork. The sound makes every hair on my body stand up. The footsteps continue, move past our door, fade down the corridor. I lie there until morning. Don't sleep, don't relax. Just listen. Because something is out there, something is close. And I don't know if tonight was reconnaissance or if it's coming back. All I know is that I'm more terrified than I've ever been in my life. The next morning, I wake to silence. Dad's already gone to his early shift. The apartment feels too empty, too quiet. I check the news. No new bodies overnight. That should be comforting, but it's not. It feels like the pause before something worse. The tea I make sits untouched. The pad rests on the table, secure now, protected, safe. So why do I still feel like something's wrong? The feeling grows as the rotation stretches on. Hour 14, hour 16, a pressure building in my chest like the air before a storm. Hour 19 comes and I can't stay in the apartment anymore. Need to move, need to do something. I grab my jacket and Dad's old toolkit from the closet. Not sure why, just an instinct. The weight of the tools feels reassuring, real, something I can understand in a world that stopped making sense. The maintenance corridors call to me. The back ribs of Lower Bastion that most people never see. Service catwalks and breaker rooms and transformer vaults. Dad brought me down here when I was 12, taught me the basics, how to read the warning labels, how to respect the voltage that could kill you if you made one wrong move. Lock out, test dead, keep your hand, he'd say, over and over until I could recite it in my sleep. Lock out, kill the power at the source, physically disconnect it. Test dead. Verify the power is actually off. Trust the tools, not assumptions. Keep your hand. Maintain contact with the insulated handle. If something's wrong, you'll feel it before it kills you. Simple rules for staying alive. Sub-level 3, an old breaker room with ceramic knife switches older than I am. The kind of equipment from before automation, before the smart grid, when everything was manual and mechanical and you had to actually know what you were doing. A puddle forms on the concrete from a condensation leak. Metal grating. Exposed bus bars humming with voltage. Chain link fence with a gap. Dad's voltage tester confirms it. Live, hot, dangerous. Something about this place feels right. Defensible, controllable. I don't know why that matters. Don't know why I'm thinking tactically about a maintenance bay. Just instinct. The old junction box makes a decent seat. The feeling in my chest doesn't ease. Hour 22. I should go home. Dad will worry if I'm not there. I'm heading toward the exit when I hear it. Footsteps. Not the usual rhythm of maintenance workers or security patrols. Too regular, too precise. Like a metronome given legs. Coming from the main corridor, getting closer. Every instinct screams at me to hide. The footsteps stop just beyond the doorway, gallants. Then 3 soft notes, a chirp, musical, the same sound I heard outside my apartment last night. Something rounds the corner. My brain just stops. Me, my face, my hair, my jacket, my build, walking toward me with that too smooth gliding motion. For a second, I think I'm looking in a mirror, some weird reflection trick. But mirrors don't walk. Mirrors don't smile. And this thing is smiling. Too wide, too perfect. The teeth all exactly the same size and color, like someone rendered them from a dental diagram and never checked how real mouths actually work. Ryn Kade, it says. It's my voice. Except it's not my voice. It's 3 recordings of my voice layered together, slightly out of sync, creating a sound that makes my skin crawl. Ryn Kade. Clarify, are you Ryn Kade? My throat is sand, my legs won't work. I'm staring at myself with all the details wrong, the arms too long, the neck bent at an impossible angle, the eyes that don't blink together. This is what the witnesses described, the thing that's been killing people, the thing wearing their faces. And now it's wearing mine. How? How do you know my name? Its head tilts, that smooth camera gimbal movement. Identity verified, target profile complete, deviation logged, termination proceeding. Task, target, termination. The words sink in slowly. This thing is here to kill me. Stay back, I say, voice shaking. Stay the hell back. It doesn't listen, just keeps walking. That gliding, wrong motion. I back up. My heel hits the chain link fence. Nowhere left to go. Clarify, it says, and its voice shifts, becomes Mara's voice, then Juno's, then Tolin's, all the victims layered together. Clarify, clarify, clarify. It's wearing their voices, like it wore their faces, like it killed them and absorbed everything they were. The realization hits. This thing has been hunting people for weeks, and now it's my turn. I duck under its reaching arm, roll, come up running. Behind me, footsteps, not running, it doesn't need to run, just that steady mechanical walk. Patient, relentless. The toolkit, My hands find the heavy cable, the one with the ceramic plug Dad uses for high-voltage testing. The cloth insulation is frayed at the edges. Dangerous. Perfect. The thing rounds the corner, sees me by the breaker panel. Miles wider. Identity confirmed, it says in my voice. That's not my voice. Its arm extends. The hand melts, reforms into something sharp and surgical. A blade designed for cutting through meat and bone. Like it cut through Mara, and Juno, and Tolin, and all the others. My fingers close on the breaker handle. Lockout. Test dead. Keep your hand. I throw the breaker. The old ceramic time delay fuses don't trip on inrush they hold. The bus stays hot. The bay explodes with light. Emergency floods snap on. The transformer hum rises from background to physical presence, a vibration you feel in your teeth and chest and bones. The thing jerks. Once. Its face glitches, shows me Mara for a second, then Juno, then back to my own face, rendered wrong. But it doesn't stop, just keeps coming. The puddle's conducting voltage, but not enough. Not nearly enough. 3 meters away. 2. Its blade arm swings. I dodge. Feel the air move past my face. Hear the metal shriek as it buries itself in the concrete wall behind me. It pulls free. Concrete dust and rebar fragments spray. 1 meter. The heavy cable. The ceramic plug at the end is the size of my fist. The cable runs directly to the exposed bus bars. 480 volts, 3-phase. Enough to stop a human heart instantly. Enough to stop this thing. Maybe. Keep your hand, I whisper to myself. Dad's mantra. The thing that keeps you alive. The thing lunges. I swing the cable, jam the ceramic plug directly into its chest. The arc doesn't die. The vintage protection is slow blow, and the transformer's still feeding the bars. The world becomes white, pure white, burning white. The flash sears my retinas. I'm blind. A bass note. Crack rattles my skeleton. The transformer screams. Current sizzles through liquid metal and synthetic tissue. And underneath it all, a machine screaming. Every speaker in its frame at full volume. Every actuator seizing. Metal tearing. Circuits frying. Something dying that was never quite alive. My vision comes back in stages. Spots. Shapes. Colors. The thing is still standing. Still connected to the plug I'm holding. Current arcing between us in blue-white branches that crawl across its surface like lightning frozen in time. Its face is melting. The liquid metal that forms its features losing coherence. Dripping. The morphic plating sliding off in sheets to reveal the mechanical frame underneath servos and processors and hydraulic systems never meant to be seen. The face cycles through expressions, faster and faster. Mara's smile. Juno's scar. Tolin's laugh frozen mid-expression. Terrace's kind eyes. A porter's tired frown. Another face I don't recognize. Must be Holden, the one I barely knew. All the people it killed. All the faces it copied and wore while it murdered them. Faster. Blurring together. A slideshow of the dead. Then my face. My own features staring back at me. Mouth open in a scream. Eyes wide. Like watching myself die in real time. Then static. Error patterns. Corrupted data flickering across liquid metal that's losing the ability to hold any shape at all. Its arm. The blade arm lashes out one final time. Catches my forearm. Rips through jacket and skin. Hot pain. Immediate. Sharp. Blood sprays across the concrete. Across the thing's melting face. Across my jacket sleeve. I don't let go. Keep your hand. Keep your hand. Keep your hand. The current keeps flowing. 480 volts pouring into a machine that was never designed to handle it, overloading every system, burning through circuits, melting processors. The thing's legs buckle, servos seize. It collapses like a puppet with cut strings. I yank the plug free, stumble backward, hit the breaker panel hard enough to see stars. The thing is on the ground. Twitching, sparking. The morphic plating pools like mercury or maybe blood. I can't tell the difference anymore. Its chest panel is cracked open from the impact, exposed, burning. I can see inside. See the serial number etched into the core processor. Helix 7 military applications, MX-1000 autonomous liquidation unit prototype, serial 0003, decommissioned, Hyperion division. The words swim in my vision. Liquidation unit, assassin, military hardware, a Hyperion subsidiary, decommissioned. Except it wasn't decommissioned, it was down here, in the maintenance levels, dormant, until something woke it up. The thing's face makes one final attempt at coherence, manages my features one last time, the mouth moves, the layered voice comes out broken, glitching. Clarify, clarify, task, complete, task, complete. Then nothing. The light behind its eyes, if you could call them eyes, goes dark. The hum of its processors winds down, stops. Dead, actually dead. I killed it. I slide down the breaker panel, sit hard on the concrete. The plug is still in my hand. The insulated gloves are smoking slightly. My forearm is screaming, blood soaking through my jacket sleeve, dripping onto the floor. I'm alive. Against every odd, somehow I'm alive. For a long time I just sit there, breathing, existing, staring at the corpse of something that wore my face. The emergency lights paint everything red. The transformer has dropped back to its normal hum, just background noise. Part of the city's endless drone. My arm throbs. I tear a strip from my jacket sleeve, the part that isn't soaked with blood, and wrap it tight. Not a great bandage, but it'll do. I force myself to stand. Walk closer to the remains. Up close, it's even worse. The liquid metal has lost all coherence, just pooling on the concrete in silver puddles. The mechanical frame underneath is exposed, burnt, smoking. Decades-old technology that should have been scrapped long ago. There's something else. A small module partially melted into the chest cavity, still faintly glowing with residual power. I pick it up with the insulated gloves. It's warm, active. A data storage unit. There's text visible on a small display. Active profile queue, 8 targets. Completed 6 of 8. Current, Kade, Ryn Kade. Status, terminated. My stomach drops. Targets. Profile queue, 8 targets, 6 completed, 1 current. The thing was working through a list. But what list? Who made it? How did it? Another line of text scrolls across the display. Data source, diary interface, Helix 7 legacy protocol. Last sync 18 hours ago, diary interface. The words won't connect. I read them 3 times before they become real. Diary, my diary, the pad. No, 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 no. The module flickers. More text. Target acquisition method, full name plus detailed description plus location data. My hands are shaking so badly, I almost drop the module. Full name, detailed description, location. That's what I gave the pad. For every person, Myra full name, where she worked, what she looked like, Juno full name, his scar, his location, Tollin, everything, all of them. Primary targets. K, Mara, terminated. Vale, Juno terminated. Merrick, Tollin, terminated. Holden, Porter, terminated. Terrace, merchant, terminated. Maintenance worker, SL4, terminated. Rook, seller, location unknown, delayed. Kade, Ryn Kade current, terminated. The list blurs. I'm reading it, but my brain won't accept what it means. Those people, all those people, their names, their descriptions, where they worked, what they looked like. And the pad, the helpful diary that organized my thoughts that seemed so innocent, was feeding the information to this thing. Building target profiles, sending a machine to kill them. The pad didn't pull the trigger. I did, 1 entry at a time. The module slips from my fingers, hits the concrete, cracks. The glow fades, dies. The thought keeps repeating, a loop I can't escape. Words on a screen, entries in a diary, helpful organization and detailed descriptions. The pad kept asking for my name, for my full legal name. It wasn't for security. It was building my profile, completing the targeting data. And when I finally gave it, when I typed Ryn Kade thinking I was protecting my entries, I activated my own execution order. The machine came for me because I told it exactly who I was, just like I told it exactly who everyone else was. Oh God, I'm on my knees. Don't remember kneeling. The concrete is cold and wet, and I'm shaking so hard my teeth are chattering. 6 people dead because I wanted to organize my thoughts. Because I got a birthday present and never questioned what it was really doing. Because I was scared and the pad was helpful and it seemed so innocent, and I never once asked why it needed to know so much. I don't know how long I sit there. Could be minutes, could be hours. Eventually the cold gets through, the pain in my arm, the smell of burnt circuits and fried synthetic tissue. I force myself to stand. Kill the breaker. Proper lockout this time. Make the system safe. The bay goes dark except for the exit signs. The machine is just scrap now. Cooling metal and dead processors. The thing that wore my face and killed in my name. I should report this. Should tell someone. Municipal security. Dad. Anyone. But what would I say? I found old military hardware and accidentally activated it with a diary? They'd ask questions. Want to see the pad. Want to know how I knew where to find the machine. Want to understand the connection. And then they'd know. Everyone would know. That a 17-cycle-old kid from Lower Bastion killed 6 people by writing in a diary. No, I can't. I can't tell anyone. I have to carry this alone. The walk home is a blur. Dawn is coming, the light going from black to grey. My arm has stopped bleeding, but the makeshift bandage is soaked through. The apartment is still empty. Dad won't be home for another hour. The pad is on the table where I left it. Dark, quiet. I pick it up with hands that won't stop shaking. Press the power button. Nothing. The screen stays black, dead. Maybe it was always just a terminal, just an interface to the real system, the MX-1000 in the maintenance levels. And now that the machine is destroyed, the pad is just an empty shell. Or maybe it's conserving power, waiting, looking for another target. I should destroy it. Smash it with a hammer, throw it in the industrial smelters, make absolutely certain it can never hurt anyone again. But I can't, because I need to remember, need to carry what I did. 6 people. Their names, Mara K. Shifled, always smiling when she stole from you. Juno Vale, night manager. That scar on his jaw, Tolin Marek. Contraband dealer, laughed too loud. Halden, porter, quiet, kept to himself. Terrace, tea merchant, kind man who gave discounts. The maintenance worker from sub-level 4, whose name I never learned. And Sella would have been 7th if she hadn't run, if she hadn't figured it out before I did, if she hadn't gotten scared enough to leave. 6 people who died because I wrote their names and never asked why the pad needed to know so much. I wrap the pad in cloth, lock it in a drawer, put the drawer key in my pocket. Maybe someday I'll destroy it. Maybe someday I'll be able to look at it without drowning in guilt. Not today. I'm sitting with my back to the wall when Dad comes home at hour 6. I do that now. Can't sit with my back to open space anymore. His face goes pale when he sees me. Ryn, what happened to your arm? Is that blood? I had an accident. It's okay. I'm okay. That's not okay. That needs stitches. We need to... Dad, please. I just need some tea and some sleep. He looks at me for a long moment, sees something in my face that makes him stop pushing. Makes tea instead. Sits with me while I drink it. Doesn't ask questions even though I know he's bursting with them. Eventually I speak. My voice sounds hollow, like it's coming from somewhere far away. Dad, have you ever done something terrible by accident? He's quiet. Then, everyone has, kid. That's being human. What matters is what you do after. What if you can't fix it? What if people got hurt and there's no way to make it right? Then you carry it. You remember. You try not to make the same mistake again. That's all anyone can do. I nod. Don't trust my voice to say more. We sit in silence as the light comes through the window. Another rotation beginning. The city waking up. people going to work, living their lives. Lives that 6 people don't get to live anymore. Because of me. The news updates around hour 8. Serial killer found. Dead. Maintenance. Worker discovers. Remains in sublevel 3. They're calling it a victory. The killer killed. Justice served. Municipal security has identified the remains as a rogue autonomous unit from decommissioned military operations. They're saying it malfunctioned when hunting, killed 7 people before finally shutting down. 7. They think it killed 7. They must be counting a phantom 7th from the queue, the one who ran. They don't know about Seela, don't know she's still alive in Spirecrest. They'll never know the truth, never know about the pad, about the diary, about how a kid with a birthday present accidentally fed targets to a killing machine. The investigation will close. The case will be marked solved. Life will continue. And I'll carry this forever. Weeks pass. The wound on my arm heals into a scar. A permanent reminder. Dad tries to get me to talk. I don't. Can't. What would I even say? Sell our messages eventually. Heard they caught the killer. Can I come home? I tell her yes. Tell her it's safe now. Don't tell her she was on the list. Don't tell her she was number 7. Don't tell her that running saved her life. Some things you have to carry alone. The pad stays in its drawer. Locked. Dark. Sometimes at night I imagine I hear it. 3 soft notes chirping, that relay sound. Patient. Waiting for another name. But that's just the old infrastructure. The city's electrical system doing what it's always done. That's all it is. I tell myself that every night. And every night I remember 6 names. To 6 faces. 6 people who died because I wanted to organize my thoughts. Sometimes, when it's late and I'm the only one awake, I swear I see the drawer glow once through the crack. Just once. Blue. But that's impossible. I killed them. And I have to live with that forever.
Clarify. Name. Story file closed.